7th. It is the moment of truth. We've reached the finals of the USBC. I am Gavin Wolpert, and I'm here with Adam Parrish and Greg Humphreys. What's up, guys?
Hi, everybody.
So we're here to break down the action of this blockbuster final of the USBC. You can see what you're looking at right now is yesterday's scoreboard in the semifinals. Nickel held off a pretty good rush there by Rosenthal in the sixth and seventh segments. You can see that Rosenthal tightened the match up, but then in the last segment, Nickel held on with the sixth final segment, and Lebowitz match against Fleischer was also pretty close, but you can see that Fleischer kind of shut the door there in those last two segments, seventh and eighth segments. They took the lead by over 40 there. So now we have a blockbuster final. These are kind of the two teams, the two most decorated teams in the event for sure. They're the Nickel team and the Fleischer team. Nickel, I mean, most people already know their style, but I kind of wanted to just take a breakdown of the three pairs on each team before we start watching. The Nickel team, it's funny. I was starting to type the styles of each team. I wanted to show you that like Nick and Ralph, they play a very sound style of 2-over-1 game force. You know, they're not opening too aggressively. They're just a good solid citizens. They have their bids, and because they have their bids, they're a little dangerous later in auctions to be able to double you because they kind of know what they have. They always have it. And then Levin and Weinstein also play 2-over-1 game forcing, a pretty sound normal style, but they have a lot of tiny little agreements. Adam, I know you've been involved in editing their system notes, and can you just give people an idea of what Levin and Weinstein system notes look like?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they keep trying to get me to keep it under 200 pages. They're like, just cut something, make it
That just
under
sounds so
200.
so dreadful to me. I can't imagine having 200 pages of notes. It would just drive
Yeah.
me
I
crazy.
mean,
But
like
obviously
the
they know most of it.
right, the specificity of okay, in this particular auction, um, when I've done this, it's crazy. Um, yeah,
So
how specific.
their third pair, Greco and Hampson, plays precision. Now precision just is a naturally more aggressive style. They're opening a lot of 11 point all 11 point hands, some 10 point hands, and we'll hopefully get a chance to talk through some of the benefits of precision that they play. And the Fleischer team has Marty and Chip are very aggressive. They play 2-over-1, but they open a club with all of their balanced hands, which means that their one diamond opening bid is more of an unbalanced hand. But still, they're very aggressive players. They're good. They're just a great pair. Very hard to play against. Zia and Jeff are kind of a new partnership. I think I don't know how much they've been playing. So like when I went to go write their style, I'm like I don't know. Zia's kind of aggressive. Mech's kind of aggressive, but I don't know how they play together that much. And lastly, Joe and Brad. They are fresh off a victory in the Vanderbilt, and they play two completely different systems. A very, very sound 2-over-1 style when they're vulnerable, and they might not be just vol and not vol. They might do some things with which chair they're in, and when they're non-vol, they play a super aggressive, precision, strong club. So the action should have started. So let me just get back here and jump back to the main page and launch this match. So we're gonna which table should we watch? I'm gonna probably open up both. Yeah, sorry, we're jumping into the first board, and it's very hard to jump in when they've already played a few tricks. So we'll just cover the bidding and then we'll miss his hand. Um, so this hand went pass, pass, pass. You can see I only switched to this view because we can see the cards that have been already played. We're not going to watch in this view the whole time. Um, where are we? So it went pass, pass, pass to a normal one. Well, they opened a diamond precision in fourth chair. It went pass, and Brad responded to spade. And now because East is a passed hand, West has no problem just passing out one spade. They only have 13 points, so they know we're not going to make a game, so they passed out one spade. So it's going to be a pretty dull board. And I'm going to get the other table open so I can just let me see control click. Yeah,
Right.
this is non-vol. This is non-vol, so that's why it's a precision. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I need to get that other table open. Let me just so that we can bounce back and forth when we want. We're only watching one table. We found it's a little bit easier to watch one table at a time. And you can see so both precision pairs are playing in the same seats at the opposite tables. So Joe and Brad are in the seats of Greco and Hampson. So that's good. Get to see some. Should be a lot of pushes. For those of you that don't know, so there's 8 segments in the match. They play 120 boards, and each segment one team has to sit down first, and the other team gets to sit around them, like get to choose who they play against, and who gets to decide is a process that's chosen just before the match starts. The higher seeded team gets to pick a segment that they want to sit around their opponents, and then the other team gets to pick 2 segments, and then the first team gets to pick 2 segments, and back and forth until all 8 segments have been chosen, and then we know who has to sit around who. All right, so we are on to board number 2. So which table should we focus on? This table looks pretty interesting, and likely to be slower just because Greco is notoriously pretty slow.
Yeah.
All right, so Precision Club.
Strong club. It's a nice hand.
Yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
we'll see some spots over the set where they get to take advantage of it, because it really is a huge thing. Those limited opening bids. You can't hear Greg. Okay, all right, I'm on it. I know the answer to this one.
So one diamond here is negative. It's like just artificial and 0 to 7. And one heart is forcing at least 4 hearts.
Might have a
Could have a longer
minor.
minor. So I imagine Jeff's going to bid a spade here.
I think Greg, you should be.
Be better.
Can you guys hear?
Kurt needs to hear my voice, as you can tell.
So you see here that at this point it's gone a club, pass, a diamond. A diamond showed a bad hand. It said 0 to 7 points. This is kind of a normal precision, a strong club that you'd come across. One heart by East. It could have been a 4-card suit, and it's forcing. And now West one spade just showed spades, but they actually still, and you can see here in the description, it says that he doesn't have 4-card heart support. He has at least 4 spades. It's kind of got to be natural. After the first round, I said I have a strong hand. My partner says they have less than 7, but now they have to catch up and start showing their suits. So East bids a heart to show hearts, West bids a spade to show spades, and now East bids 2 diamonds, which you can see now shows 5 hearts and 4 diamonds and is not forcing. So that means that he's in like the 17 to 19 point range. West has a nice hand in the context of the auction. They've limited their hand to 7, but now they have a pretty good hand. So they raise 2 diamonds to 3 diamonds. 6 opposite 19 would be game. So that's why they're strong enough to raise 2 diamonds to 3 diamonds.
And now we'll see 3-0.
Yeah, he still has an easy 3-0 trumpet, exactly. It's funny. So the auction, how it would have gone in a normal 2-over-1 system, it would have gone 1 heart pass, 1 spade pass, 3 diamonds, strong jump shift, forcing to game. And now West would have had an uncomfortable bid over 3 diamonds. A heart pass, a spade pass, 3 diamonds. Because West, they have a diamond fit, but 5 diamonds is not usually the right final contract. So West would be best placed over 3 diamonds to make a simple preference back to 3 hearts over 3 diamonds to show their doubleton heart, so that East can bid 3-0 trump, which is where you kind of belong on this hand.
Though 4 hearts is not bad. With all these
actually,
hearts
it's true. 4 hearts might actually even be better on this hand. Come to think of it, just looking at it, like we see that the Ace of Spades is on side, but like they are pretty wide open in the spade suit.
Right. Ace of Spades is an interesting lead from Zia too, especially when spades have been bid on your left.
Right.
I guess he doesn't have anything better to do. Like his hand, what's he going to do? Lead from Jack 3rd or Jack 4th?
Right.
Yeah, well, he's not leading from Jack 4th into the 5-card heart suit.
Right.
He's not leading a diamond.
Not.
So the question was, would he lead spades or clubs. It's interesting that he chose to lead the ace of spades. He was hoping that East, the strong hand, had a singleton king, and he just
Singleton honor.
snap it. Like he felt like if I lead a low spade, he knows East has a singleton spade most likely because they showed 5 hearts, 4 diamonds, and they had stoppers and clubs, so they bid 3 no trump. So he knows that it's probably a singleton spade. So I guess he was just thinking if I lead the ace of spades, that I'll drop the stiff king. But the thing I don't like about the ace of spades is it blocks the spade suit.
Yeah.
Like you can see what's happening now. All Declarer really needs to do now is duck 1 round of spades, and the spade suit is going to be that jack of spades is going to be marooned, and that's common. It's not weird that happened. That was kind of what you'd expect would happen on the. So it's interesting that he was willing to risk that.
It could also, I mean, at this level, is it possible that Zia is trying to paint a picture in Declarer's mind that he has an outside entry to cause him to perhaps
I
not
think
take
Zia
it?
was thinking, I have 4 spades. Dummy might only have
Ooh.
4 spades, and Declarer has 1. So if the spades are 4, 4, 4, 1 around the table, then leading the ace could never hurt you. It could never block anything. It's only when Dummy hits with that 5th spade that the blockage becomes a problem. So I think he was just trying to think like, well, if there's 4 in Dummy, and I know that the strong hand is over here on my right, they could easily have a singleton honor. I will not lead the jack of spades and have it run around to a singleton honor that I knew was almost that could be there. I just think he was not willing to subject
And
himself to it.
notice the nice unblock by Jeff Mextroth of the Queen of Spades. It's not a hard play. Again, you're expecting Declare to have a singleton, but it's a good play.
Yeah, and now look, by the way, the other room did get to 4 hearts on this hand, even though they're playing precision.
Okay, I wish there was a way I could mouse over it to see their bidding without. I guess I should have another score sheet open up too. Let me open up this right click. Can I right click and open a new tab? Let me.
Here, I can look.
No, but
Yeah. I mean, obviously telling you
did not work.
only useful to you.
So
Your
I need
rifle
to
is
have
the
this.
same.
This is what I need to do. I need to take this browser, add a new tab, which I'm not going to use that again. There you go. And now we've got a scorecard. And finally, where was I? I will get back to this table and back, and we're good. Okay, so yeah, I kind of like being at the slower table so we can get comparisons from the other room. And that's what I would think this is going to be the slower room.
So they had the same basic auction, but then over 2 diamonds, West bid 3 hearts instead of raising diamonds. Interesting. And that got him to 4 hearts.
I guess he could kind of see that hearts was the.
I mean, 2 honors, King 10 Doubleton is pretty good. He's already denied 3.
He also has a doubleton club, so he knows that third club is going to be ruffable in his hand. So like it's definitely the right hand to suggest playing in a 5-2 hard fit for sure. It was definitely the right time for Joe to do that.
Yeah, that was a good.
Anybody if you're watching, please join the conversation. Best way to talk to us while we're watching, it's twitch.tv/WolpertBridge. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, flip over there and join our conversation on Twitch, and that way it's the least latency over there, so you'll be with us at the time that we're actually commentating. So, all right. Now we get to see a pretty nice hand from Zia opening a club, and these guys just play standard, so they're just playing the same tools that you and I play, like that grandma and grandpa play for the most part. Zia and Jeff, they probably play a little bit more complicated system, but I think they keep it pretty simple. I guess
not.
Okay, I wonder what that is. All right, so it says 1 major, 6+ cards, so it's like a weak 2 bid in either major. That's an interesting method I've never heard of before. I guess it's a homegrown thing. I've never seen that before.
Multi jump shift
Yeah.
by responder.
And now Z is like, well, first of all, Greco, who's got a pretty good hand over here, he has a pretty normal hand that wants to overcall, right? He has 11 highs and a 5 card major. He he knows which major that North has, spades. So he poked in there with 2 hearts. You don't like to be pushed out on these hands. It's now or never for the East hand. If he passes 2 diamonds, he knows that they're gonna get to 2 spades, and it's only gonna get more expensive to overcall at the 3 level. So I definitely think he had to bid there. It's not attractive. He's vulnerable, and his opponents are not vulnerable. So it's a little bit scary, but assuming it's funny, that's not much of a description. Just one major 6+ card. What does that mean? Like, could it be a weak major? Could it be a strong major? There's no description there. It should really say like 5 to 10 or whatever. Okay, so Zia's just rebid 3 clubs. Um,
Now, Hampson has a nice raise of hearts.
Yeah.
So the king of spades might be poorly placed.
It would be nice to know what the minimum points are on this 2 diamond bid.
So for me, when I'm playing weak jump shifts with my partner, I like weak jump shifts to be really weak opposite partner's opening bid. Not like a weak 2 bid, but actually more like a hand that's not even good enough to respond 1. That's what, to me, like a club past 2 spades. There's no point in playing that as 5 to 10 with 6 spades. You can bid 1 spade and then bid 2 spades.
Right. It's like king jack 6 the now.
Yeah,
something
where like you have a pretty decent suit but not a very good hand, where the only time you're ever gonna have a game is if partner has
a fit.
Partner has a fit, exactly. Yeah.
So they must have some other implications then. If it goes a club, a spade, something 2 spades, they must treat that as something, maybe forcing or something. If they use
who knows
on this hand, because this looks like such a normal 1 spade response.
So what's going on?
A new partnership. That's amazing.
That's a good lead by Hampson, because we can see on the surface that if South was able to rough 2 hearts in the dummy, it would be pretty straightforward, because they could rough 2 hearts and use the ace of spades to throw away the 7 of diamonds, and they'll just lose a diamond and a high heart. So it's this trump lead has definitely complicated that, because now it's pretty clear that they're going to need to use the ace of spades to throw away a heart rather than a diamond. So, but because they have 10 clubs, it's not going to matter, because on this hand the ace of diamonds is onside, predictably onside as well, because of the vulnerable overcall. So now they're just kind of forced to play a diamond up towards their hand. Is there any chance they could set up the spades instead? Are there 3 dummy entries? There are 3, but you would need 4 to set up the spade suit, right? You have to rough 3 spades in your hand and then get back a 4th time to enjoy the spades, so you can't quite set that spade long suit up. Like, you could win the club in dummy and play ace of spades and rough a spade, and then eventually lead a heart, have them win a trump. You could win it in dummy, you could rough another spade, but you can only get to dummy. You can't quite get there enough times. So Zia's kind of going to go through the calculations here and think like, what can I do? Is there anything I can do to? But no, I need the ace of diamonds on side.
You just need the ace of diamonds on side, which it rates to be.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. They use 1 minor, 2 of a major as various conventional things. So they don't have a direct weak jump shift. And Al
okay, but thanks, thanks Al. That's perfect. So they play it's a weak 2 in either major. It's a weak 2. So the same as they play multi. So. All right, we are. Fleischer did get 2 imps from playing in 4 hearts on the first board, right, or the second board rather. And this board is looking like a push. He's gonna, once he sees clubs are 2-1, he doesn't need to play a diamond immediately. He can play ace of spades and a spade to see if maybe king queen third of spades is popping up, or king queen doubleton. Oh, he's hoping. I see. Yeah, he's hoping the hand that doesn't have the other club is gonna win this heart. That was so now on no club back, he's golden. That was actually a very smart extra chance.
So, but Hampson could have overtaken and played another trump.
Yeah, he could have.
I'm a little surprised he didn't.
He
Well,
probably,
it's such a-
yeah.
Such a good lead.
I mean, it didn't matter anyway. It was
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
But you're right. If partner had the queen of diamonds, it would have mattered.
Right. There's no danger of isolating the heart threat with East because there's no squeeze.
Mm.
All the cards are in the wrong hand. Would be safe.
Yeah, he just claims.
That is true. Also, as Al points out, Ziamek play two different ways to open a week 2. They play multi, but they also play 2 of a major as sort of a good week 2.
Oh no, you still got problems with my. Try refreshing, Adam. I know that that I fixed the thing that I needed to fix, but on my end, I'm pretty sure, unless there was another detail. Monitor and yeah.
So let's see. Jeff's going to open a spade, and unless they play something fancy, Zia just force the game and raise spades. But Zia has a very nice hand.
We did have a question about why Zia only bid 3 clubs. I think it's because his partner has showed a week 2, and so bidding to the 3 level by yourself in your own suit should show a pretty good hand already. Adam wants to open a no trump.
Yeah, that would just be a standard 1-0 opener for me. I would just automatically open 1-0 when I have 14 in a 5-card major like that. Obviously, your straight queens and jacks probably isn't worth adding this one up to 15. But I would just pretty normally my auction would be 1-0, and then South with 18 would be like, oh, 1-0 you say, and they would bid slam. So
yeah, certainly if you're going to land in 3-0, you do want the straight queens and jacks to be in declarer's hand. Also notice again, Zia's bid 2 clubs here and not 2 diamonds because it's standard practice among most experts to play that the 2 diamond response promises a 5-card suit. So this 2 club bid is a bit of a catch-all. Might be real clubs, it might just be a balanced hand.
yeah, these 5-3-3-2s and 4-3-3s are the worst shapes. They both have the max number of losers. You can see here that slam is just almost impossible to make slam on this hand. It does happen to make on this hand with the queen 10 of hearts, but being in the right place. But it's terrible. Yeah, it's a terrible slam. Mm-hmm. So over 3 spades, North, they probably play some form of serious or non-serious slam tries here. This is a really, really important tool that experts use because at this point in the auction, North has not limited their hand and South has not limited their hand. So either one of them could have 18 or 19 points and be looking for slam, and we don't really know yet. So you can see here that these guys play 3-0 trump as non-serious. So basically, 3-0 trump says to their partner, hey, partner, I'm only actually interested in slam if you have a slam try. I don't just want to start to control bid because I don't want the momentum, the inertia of our control bid to just send us to slam. So I'm telling you here with 3-0, I'm not really looking for slam, but if you're looking for slam, I don't want to eat up the whole 4 level for you. But the thing is that 3-0 trump does give some sort of positive. It's not just like I'm only interested in slam if you are, because over 3 spades, if North had the absolute worst hand that they could possibly have, they could go straight to 4 spades, which is called fast arrival, and which would basically say, partner, I have a joke of an opening bid. Forget that I opened. I'm so sorry. Let's just end this right now. That's what 4 spades would say. So 3-0 trump just says, I opened the bidding. I have a decent hand. It's not that bad. So if you have a slam try, I'm not going to kill your room. And that was all Zia felt like he needed from his partner. Unfortunately,
one of my rules is that fast arrival should have at most 1 key card.
Yeah,
right? It should just be really bad for slam.
I think that's
there's something
when you have really good trumps, like Jeff does here, you have to be a little more aggressive because you know your partner has really bad trumps.
Yeah, agreed. So here's something that I will say is their system. You can see that North rebid two spades. This is I am very much anti this system. I hate this system where two spade rebidding your major could have only five, because what happened on this hand was like they missed an opportunity to have a red flag of the fact that North is 5-3-3-2 and South is 4-3-3-3. When you match these two distributions up against each other, like on this hand, North, you always inevitably have like these third round losers in suits, like we have on this exact deal, like a slow heart loser. The nine of hearts was a magical card on this hand, but if the nine of hearts was the two of hearts, the slam would basically have no play. And even with it having the nine of hearts, it's a terrible slam. But if you played the more modern way of rebidding two no trump over two clubs to show 5-3-3-2, now the south hand is way worse, because now you have only 18 and your partner's got at most 14, and in my view really 13, because I would usually upgrade to open one no with 5-3-3-2 and 14. So when you have 18 opposite 13 or 14 and you have 4-3-3 and 5-3-3-2, you're honestly almost never going to make slam. It's amazing the difference that message of 5-3-3-2 helps you avoid slam on this hand. Now this hand, he's going to take I have had no experience with wrong siding no trump with the 5-3-3-2. Al, I know that's like it's a fear and it's an obvious fear. I just like, we've not had bad results by playing. I've been playing this for like 10 years and I really have not had that experience of two no trump being just playing no trump from the wrong side. So often partners got a major suit fit and you're headed to four of a major anyway, or you just have enough beef in 3-0 and they have to have the right lead. It's got to go through the right hand. It's like, I don't know, the math of all that lining up is it has not been a problem for me, and knowing that two spades promises six is a huge bonus.
Knowing that sixth trump can just be huge. I certainly recommend having two spades there, show six.
Yeah, it is certainly playable to have two spades promise exactly five and then use something else.
Yeah, what Al was saying in the chat.
That's what Al was saying. Adam Parrish and I play that. But yeah, when your two spade response is five or more, it doesn't convey any new information about your hand. It maybe denies a few other things you could have.
Yeah,
it's rough.
So
we may also see we may see a squeeze attempt.
So I mean, he can see that he could play a low diamond towards his jack to get rid of two of his losers if the queen of diamonds is on side, but that doesn't help him. He's gonna need to solve the heart suit no matter what on this hand. So yeah, his first thing is he has to solve clubs.
Play 3 rounds of diamonds and then try to squeeze east in the red suits, and then it doesn't matter where
he still needs. Then he'll make it if it's 5-2 or
right. Once he sees that the clubs are favorable, which has already happened.
He basically needed.
Yeah.
North, did it go one heart, one spade, two clubs? Yeah, I like to be able to bid three clubs sometimes with a 3-card suit. That's a really good question, Dianita. I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's the hardest part of Twitch, is knowing how to pronounce people's usernames. One spade, two clubs, three clubs on a 3-card suit is certainly viable. Like that, I know Levin and Weinstein definitely. Yeah, we play one major, two clubs, 2+ clubs as well. But there's Levin and Weinstein taught me this, that they often raise two club. They play two club, one of a major past two clubs, as could be two, and they're willing to raise two clubs past three clubs on a 3-card suit to avoid wrong siding no trumps when it's obvious that you're going to be wrong siding it, and it doesn't cause problems, because when partners got the balanced hand with 2 or 3 clubs, you're headed to either 4 of the major or 3 no trump anyway. It's only when partner has an unbalanced hand, in which case they'll have 5 clubs, that you're really going to run into a lot of problems with that 3-club bid. I mean, you're not even going to run into problems. At least you'll still have a fit.
Right. Yeah, so there's a few options here he can play for, right? One is singleton or doubleton queen of hearts, and one is the queen 10 of hearts on side, and the other is a squeeze, finding the 4 diamonds and the queen of hearts together.
Starting with ace king and a diamond rough doesn't give up on any of that.
Doesn't hurt anything.
It also picks up queen 10 9 third of diamonds.
It does.
Yep.
So the only time it would be wrong to play for the squeeze is if West had 4 diamonds and East had the queen 10 of hearts. Because now you can double hook the hearts by running the jack through and then running the heart to the 9. Anyway, the squeeze is definitely on its way. It's going to work. He's going to have to decide right now. This is when his moment of truth is. So we're going to actually see. I think he's going to think for a little bit right now, because now it's his key play. Because now if he plays one more trump, he's squeezing the dummy. So I think we're going to see him play ace king of diamonds and a diamond rough right now for sure, because he'll realize, hey, like exactly like Adam said, if somebody has queen 10 9 of diamonds, let's see that rough out, and then our 8 will be good. But then when that doesn't happen, he's going to have to, that'll be his moment of truth. Do I double finesse the hearts, and or do I try to squeeze East? Both will work. He's going to make this hand for sure.
Yeah.
Does Greco's 8 of hearts, is that an attempt to do anything here? Because Greco can see what's coming, right?
Yeah.
He pitched the 8 of hearts. I wonder if he's like trying to somehow talk Mech into doing something weird.
No, it's not a long answer. Mextroth isn't playing with Rodwell because there's a vaccine mandate, and Rodwell has not been vaccinated. Hello. Welcome to our stream. Yeah. So this is going on. Sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
No, do you think there's anything to be said for playing a diamond early when the defense is more likely to give an accurate count signal? Or do you think in the slam like
I don't
this,
think they're giving. I don't think they're giving signals. Yeah, I would not be.
Yeah.
I would not be giving count in.
Yeah, but it is a strategy that, you know, defenders tend to be more honest early in the hand. You know, once they've had a chance to figure things out, you can count on them a lot less.
Yeah, or occasionally you have some situation where the defense needs to make some spectacular looking unblock, and it's hard to do that at trick 2, but maybe by trick 9 you've figured out enough about the hand that you can do it. So here's the diamond rough we thought would happen.
Right.
Now is his moment. He knows this. He's feeling pretty bad about being in this spot, but he's going to feel so happy when he makes his hand. He's going to think he's picked up a swing, being in this greasy slam. It's not really high-level bridge. The fact that both tables bid this terrible slam is not a good sign for where you'd like them to avoid these slams.
It was somewhat hard to stay out of.
It was. Right. I mean, because if North opens 1-0, obviously South's got 18, so they're just going to bid slam. So it's pretty hard to avoid slam. I wonder what was the auction in the other room.
It was almost the same. It was, right? They did rebid 2-0 trump, but then over 3 spades, North bid 4 clubs.
They rebid 2-0. 3 spades, and he bid 4 clubs non-serious. They play serious 3-0. So 4 clubs was
interesting, right? He's control bidding.
He felt like he had to say he had an interest in slam because of his good trumps. But it's funny, he had those 3 jacks that carried no weight. Right, 3 jacks had no. Well, I guess that's not true. The jack of hearts ended up being incredibly valuable, but in reality, 3 jacks really made that hand worse. All right, where's our table?
Yeah.
This has got to be an interesting hand since the result from the other room is 1100.
No, 100. It's 100. 100.
Oh, down. Okay, sorry. The kerning on this. I was like, down 1105, or it's doubled. What in the world?
So interesting for spade.
Yeah, it was so that's definitely against the what you're taught. Usually when you have these 11, 10 plus a singleton like this hand, that you wouldn't just go straight to 4 spades, that you would try to show a good hand in support of spades, because you might still have a slam, right? A partner could have 18 points and nothing wasted in hearts. In fact, you don't even need that much for a slam with the South hand.
Yeah.
You just need
4 hearts seems pretty normal to me. A splinter.
Yeah, I mean, everything I know about Zia is that he's really a big fan of sacrificing a little precision to get to like that razor thin best contract, to putting maximum pressure on the opponents.
Yeah, and you see,
Four
West's
spades.
4 no trump bid is it's yeah. So you can see how he's described it, and this is a very standard expert treatment these days. Is that when you're bidding 5 hearts over 4 spades, you want to be able to distinguish whether you're bidding 5 hearts because you're doing it to make, or whether you're bidding 5 hearts because you're sacrificing over the opponent's 4 spade bid. And so what Hampson is doing here is he's bidding 4 no trump, which initially partner is thinking is asking them pick a minor. But then when West corrects to 5 hearts, it says no, I just had a 5 heart bid, but I have a bad hand. And whereas if you bid 5 hearts directly over 4 spades, it would say to partner, I have a real 5 heart bid. I like my hand. They could be completely. And in modern bridge, the 1 spade bidder here could have a ridiculously ugly 10 count, like a 5-5 aceless 10 count, and the 4 spade bidder could have 5 card support and nothing. And East West could be cold for slam. And it's really important that West distinguishes whether it's our hand or it's their hand with this as they compete. So this is a very standard expert treatment. I wouldn't be surprised if we look at the other room and see them doing that same thing in the other room. What's up, Raj? Yeah, I did teach you that. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they didn't bid 4 spades in the other room, understandably. Steve bid 2 no trump over the double. So,
Yeah.
Then it went 5 hearts double.
Well,
So
he just bid 5 hearts directly, so that's Joe Grew putting the pressure on right away. He could see that they were
Right.
headed to 4 spades, so he just wanted to take up all the room. Good
Right.
bid.
Right. Yeah. And then we get into a conversation about forcing passes, which no one likes to talk about.
We kind of touched on it. Was it in our stream last week or earlier the week we
We
did?
did.
Yeah.
If you want to learn
Well,
about forcing passes, look up the round of what was it? The round of 16 set on our Twitch page.
Right. Yeah.
So
Well, that's one of the problems with Zia's 4 spade bid is that it makes it unclear whose hand it is, right? If this could be a good 10 count like this, or it could be a 3 count, it's not clear. But with 2 aces, Mextroth was like, they're sacrificing.
Right. Well, Hampson more or less announced that they were sacrificing. He thought he was sacrificing, but yeah, if Zia could have nothing, this double, it's not completely obvious, but he did well.
So this was a good lead. He needed to lead this club at trick 2 because the problem is that they don't really have an entry to the south hand. So what has to happen now is if West pops up with the ace of clubs, which he just didn't, he avoided it. If he had popped up with the ace of clubs, then North, after getting in with the ace of hearts, would easily be able to cross 2 partners king of clubs and get a ruff. But now what's going to happen, because he took the club finesse, he's now going to play a heart, and when North wins the ace of hearts, they don't have a way across to the south hand to get that ruff. So
he needed to lead the club so that he could underlead a spade.
Yeah, a club lead would have been more effective on this hand.
Good luck finding that. Yeah, I agree with the comment in chat that I think Zia does enjoy making bids like this, giving up on the idea of maybe threading the needle to a slam when he knows there's like a full double over here, to make the opponents make harder guesses. That jives with everything I've learned about him over the years.
So, down 1, it's a push. How are they doing in spades? They're losing a club.
Looks pretty good to
We're
me.
about to lose
Ace of diamonds and a diamond ruff, if they can find the diamond ruff. So they might even make 5 if they don't get the ruff.
Okay, pass to a normal 1 club opening in third chair, but they're playing precision, so he can't open a club. But will he open? Probably, yeah.
Really?
No, he didn't. Yeah.
He's right against white, and his partner. He knows his partner would open all 11s in first chair.
Yeah.
So
lots of losers. I think that was a very practical decision to pass. Plus, he has to open a diamond, and then he knows he's going to play in 1-no, vulnerable, with no chance at game. I actually really like his pass. He's not getting a lead director in for clubs. Like, I like opening a club with that hand in third chair because my partner's going to lead a club. But if I'm playing precision and I open a diamond and I'm not going to help myself get a club lead, most of your upside of opening that hand in third chair kind of goes away. I'm guessing that in the other room that Joe did open, because they did end up in 1-no, so it probably went past a diamond.
Is Mexstroth going to pass one heart? Yeah,
he is. This is a perfect time to pass. When Mech opened a club, he only did it because he had 4 spades. He was just applying the rule of 15 that everybody kind of uses in fourth chair, where you take your high card points and you have 11 points, and you take your number of spades, which is 4, and if it adds to 15, you should probably be opening the bidding. And so you opened a club, and if partner bids, regardless of what partner bid, you could pass. Although you probably wouldn't pass a diamond, you'd bid a no trump over a diamond. But if partner bids a heart or a spade, you can just pass because you know you don't have a game, and here you get settled in 1 heart. So this is definitely going to be a pickup for Nickel, because there's no chance that he's going to make 5 on this hand for 200.
Yeah, Joe did open a club in third seat with the West hand because they're playing standard when they're vulnerable, and when a club, a heart, a no trump.
So can he make this hand? He's got 3 top heart tricks, and a top spade is 4. The well-placed king of clubs and the well-placed king of diamonds is 6. He's going to need to get a ruff in one of the 2 hands, which shouldn't be difficult. So yes, he will make at least 1 for 80, and then so 3 hearts, ace of spades, the 2 well-placed kings in the minors is 6, and then just either a diamond ruff in dummy or a club ruff in his hand. So now he can, what can he do?
Yeah, this would be a pickup for Fleischer, right?
No, Fleischer was -2. We're 2 down. Joe and Brad were -200 and 1-no.
Oh, so I got it backwards.
It'll be plus 80 or something.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 3 imp. We'll have a new leader. These are long matches, so one of the best things I'll say, like, the thing about bridge is on any given hand, there's a lot of variance. If I played a 1-board match against somebody, it's a complete crapshoot who wins that match. And you play 7-board matches in Swiss teams. Sometimes the better team's going to win. Sometimes one team is going to have a slam swing in their favor or do something that there's going to be variance. And so the more boards that you play against the team, the more likely the better team is to win. And so this tournament, the USBC, has been my favorite event that I've played my whole career because it's 2-day matches, 120 board matches, and the better team when you're playing 120 board matches usually wins. And there's enough time that those swings of variance where I stay out of a game that my opponent's bid and it needed 2 finesses to make, and this time it made, or I bid a slam on a finesse and my opponent stayed out of it. Those swings over time, that variance tends to even out over multiple boards. But when you play very short segments over any given 10 or 15 board segment or whatever, the luck can go all one way or all the other way. But over 2 days, usually the luck will even out. And
says the guy who won it last year.
Yeah, exactly.
The better team always wins.
Not always, but usually.
To answer the question in chat, should East-West have balanced? I don't
know. They're
really dangerous balancing.
So. Yeah, not at these colors, certainly. And
the opponents don't necessarily have a fit.
Yeah, in fact, they don't.
They're often in a 4-3 fit here.
What's interesting about this table, actually, is that both North and South have in past been members of the Nickel team, and East-West have in past been members of the Fleischer team. So if you go back and watch some old USBCs, you might have seen, Mexstroth never played with Zia on the Nickel team. Zia played with Hammond for a while on the Nickel team. Not so long, but for a little stretch of time.
Yeah.
We're on board 6. So this is segment 1 of 8. If you're watching this right now, you're watching it on my feeds of Walper Bridge Twitch. But the USBC has awesome commentary for all there's different people doing it every set. Each one has their own style, and I've been watching it, all of it, when I've had a chance. I've been watching it, but you have to find the USBC Twitch channel, or find it directly through lovebridge.com. Lovebridge.com. That's another way to link up to the other broadcasts. There you go. Thank you for linking to the Twitch in the Twitch chat to the actual Twitch page. So go ahead and follow that if you want to be notified any time that the new broadcasts go live from the other people besides me. It was too complicated to coordinate me being on the same channel as everybody else. All right, so we got to look like we got
here. Yeah, he upgraded. One club is usually 16 plus, but with this great suit and 6'4" shape, he upgraded. And one heart is like 8 to 11, any strength, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what they play.
Yeah, so in one heart showed 8 to 11 points with denying 5 spades.
No, 5 spades. Yeah,
right, is that what it
Yeah,
is?
I
so
mean,
now they're in the natural.
Probably denies a few other shapes too, but that's the most common.
It's funny, like this is one of the problems with Strong Club is that now the West's first bid to show their distribution is at 2 hearts, where most of us, we would have opened 1 heart, and then East could have just showed their raise, some
Limit
kind of
raise.
4-card limit raise, and
Yeah.
yeah, so slam on this hand is not terrible. It's just on a spade finesse. It turns out that the spade finesse is offside, but it's just a 50-50. This is the variance I'm talking about, that East-West found slam. It'll be interesting to see whether they are able to diagnose. West is going to know that it's at worst on a finesse. The problem is that if East had a doubleton spade, it was just going to be a claim for slam. So my guess is that Joe got himself into some kind of auction where, with the West hand, that he said, well, I know my partner's got the ace king of clubs. I haven't looked at their auction. I know my partner's got the ace king of clubs. So if I bid 6 hearts and partner's got a doubleton spade, we won't need the finesse, and I can just trump my 2 spades in partner's hand. Or if partner has 3 spades, then we're in a finesse. So when I know slam is at worst on a finesse, I want to be there. If I knew my partner might have a doubleton spade, but I have no way to figure it out, but I know that even if they have 3 spades, I'm on a finesse, that's a slam that I would bid every day of the week. But if you get to a spot where you're 100% sure that slam is on a finesse, slams are not always exactly on a finesse. If it's on a finesse, there's probably some other break that you need to survive to make the slam, whether it's like they don't need a club and clubs are 7-0 at trick 1 and they give their partner a rough. But so if you're able to diagnose that you're on a finesse for slam, it's usually right not to bid that slam, because there's almost always some other little tiny detail that's going to make it a 49% affair. But yeah, whatever. Sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah.
But I think if you're red, 49% is still.
No, it's 13 in, 13 out. It's just 50-50 on the slams. If you 650 and 100 is you lose 13 if you're wrong, and 1430 and 680 is you win 13 if you're right. So it's got to be at least 50-50 for you to want to be in a slam. And if you've never played bridge before and you're watching this feed, a slam is 12 tricks, 12 out of the 13 tricks. I was thinking about how can we make these broadcasts more desirable for people who've never heard of bridge, and every so often having a little thing that comes in and says a slam is 12, but those little that's what we need.
3 spades here a shortness ask?
Let's see.
Imagine so, yeah. It's a cubit actually.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's the cutoff percentage if you're not vulnerable?
It's a little better.
For slam? I don't think so.
Well, 450 and 50 is 11 out, and 980 and 480 is 11 in. It's 50-50. The only one that's weird, I think, is 6 of a minor versus 5 of a minor. It's 11 to 10. That's
right. The game swings are not this, right? If you're red, the red games need like a 36% or something to break even.
Yeah, vulnerable games are a whole other animal.
And non-vulnerable games
you lose 10 if you versus
10,
6.
13.
It's 10 to 6 ratio on vulnerable games.
but the non-vulnerable ones need.
Yeah, there's no advantage to being in non-vulnerable games, and there's no advantage to being in slams. So there's no need to drive to aggressive slams or
So
non-vulnerable
did we
games.
see this non-serious 3-0 trump again here?
It's serious. These guys play serious
They
3-0.
play
See, the old
serious.
school guys play serious, and the younger guys play non-serious.
Yeah. So having limited his hand, right? 11, 8 to 11, he's a total maximum with 4-card support. So, being in that tight box, he can say, I have serious slam interest.
Yeah, he does too. The only thing is
Right.
that it turns out the Queen of Diamonds is completely useless.
Right. Turn that into the
If
Queen
the
of
Queen of
Spades.
Spades and you're gold, but West never got a chance to show his spades. That's the hard part about these auctions. Where not that playing standard you'd really have that opportunity to show the spades. It would go a heart, whatever your 3-card limit raise. It's not like
Right.
you have
That's
a way
what
to show
happened
your
at the other
spades.
table,
Oh,
right? It went a heart, 3 clubs,
Oh, 'cause
limit
it's
raise,
vulnerable,
and then
yeah.
shortness ask, right? Because they're right. But the 4 diamond bid here is a control bid, but it denies a club control, and so now Greco has to do something, right? Because he has the clubs.
Yeah, he has to, exactly.
He has
So now
to.
I believe they play 4 spades as keycard Blackwood.
And it's
Yeah.
been alerted as last train-ish.
No Q in clubs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it certainly denies the clubs, but
Yeah. It's hard to imagine not having a diamond control in this auction, but I'm sure you could invent a
Right.
hand. Yeah, so 4 spades asked for key cards, and
They had
I guess
enough.
they
So they
played
bid slam.
0-3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Al, I mean, there's a big difference between a crummy 8 count and a good 11 count, especially when you could have 3 trumps or 4 trumps. So I think
he
it's
showed
useful here.
4,
Yeah.
but he showed 4.
Oh, he did show 4.
But still, I
4,
agree
but
with
I
you.
mean,
There's a
he's
big
got-
difference between the thing is that West is unlimited, so East needs to be able to cooperate without cooperating, without showing interest. Like you can have a king more, but you could have 2 aces, let's say, and have 8, and you could have 2 aces and a king and have 11. There's a huge difference between those two. Maybe the ace king is just supposed to drive. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, if they have 5 controls, will just treat it as 12 plus in their responses. I don't know the details of the system, but if you have ace, ace, king, and partner opens a club, I think a lot of people don't call that 8 to 11.
Okay.
But I don't know if these guys do that.
All right, so this is actually going to be a pretty dull hand to watch them play, unless he leads the spade. I guess we can watch for the spade lead. And actually, looking at it, it's not. So what does North know on this hand? North knows North knows West doesn't have a club control, so he knows. I think he's going to lead a club. I think the chances are he's going to lead a club, just knowing that.
Right, he's leading through whatever club strength they have. Right,
Yeah.
I mean, Greco could have the king of clubs, and his partner could have ace jack.
Oh, South's on lead. Oh, because when a club passes
Yeah,
a
we
heart,
got wrong
right?
sided.
Oh, right,
Okay,
right.
okay. So now
Thank
they
you.
can't make it anyway. Yeah.
You got wrong sided. Yeah,
Yeah,
another-
right. That's pretty funny. Definitely, someone tell them South's on lead.
Yeah.
Because you would have led already.
It's another consequence of some of these artificial one club structures just can't up randomly wrong siding the contract, which can lead to big swings if the 2 pairs in the other rooms are playing different systems. You can get a swing out of nowhere. It's not even a judgment thing or it's just randomness.
So where's that scorecard at? This is the other room, but I want to look at what their auction was in 6 hearts. You said so it went 1 heart, 3 clubs, 4-card limit raise. So this is actually a tool that I play with Warren. It's a really, really, really useful tool to play. That the first step asks the limit raiser, "Do you have a singleton?" And then when he says no, balanced, and now we can still have a control bidding auction. 3 spades showing a control in spades, 4 clubs showing a club control. It looks like it says ace, not just ace king, not just first or second. And then they had their key card auction. But that tool asking for shortness, and basically the answers to that tool are: the first step is none. The second step is I have the low shortness, so it's clubs. The next step would be I have the middle shortness is diamonds, and the next step is I have high shortness, which are it's just a very useful tool to add if you're playing Bergen raises or if you're playing any kind of 4-card limit raise. Using that first step to say, do you have shortness, is amazing.
You can do it over a mixed raise too. If you play mixed
Yeah,
raise.
it's great over the mixed raise too, for sure. It's great over the mixed raise too. Oh, thank you very much. It's a very nice comment in Twitch. Appreciate it.
Is there anything to play for here other than the finesse?
No, your diamond loser's not going anywhere.
Right.
No, this is a quick one. Look how quickly
diamond.
he's playing it.
Yeah.
He's just like, come on, let's go. Let's get this over with. Is it a singleton queen of spades? No. Okay, let's go take a finesse. Move on. Next hand.
I'm surprised Greco didn't just face his hand and said, "Are the
Well, yeah,
spades
that's why
working?"
now he's gonna. I'm sure he's doing that right now. We're gonna see a claim right now. I think that. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I would have thought that, right? Exactly what you're saying. But I guess if the spade finesse loses, they might be a. There might be a chance that he's going to run his tricks and the last card might be good. So I guess he can't really do that.
Adam, you are this person's favorite author.
Oh, well, thank you. Always nice to hear.
Oh, that'll be easy.
Yeah, that makes it easy. All right.
One thing that's really important, I think, especially for newer players, is if you have a result like this at your table, don't despair, right? Don't start saying, oh, we just punted 13 imps. Now we got to start doing crazy stuff to catch up.
Right. Especially in a 120 board match,
Right.
but even other, like it was a totally normal, reasonable auction and contract.
Yeah.
There's a good chance they got to it at the other table.
It's very easy when you're starting out, when you're learning, when you're advancing in bridge to say, I don't know what's going on at the other table. All I know is I just wrote slam down on my scorecard, and that feels awful because we've all been there when you bring that scorecard and your teammates yelling at you. And it's really, really important not to, because what you can do is have a normal result and then start having a bunch of terrible results after that, trying to make it back. And that's much worse.
I find that there's a bigger pandemic of bridge players who write plus 170 or plus 480, like when they seemingly miss a slam or seemingly miss a game, and they're thinking, "Oh, we should have bid that," as if you need to bid 22-point games or 25-point slams. Yeah, like that. Usually, if you don't have 32 points, nobody else is going to be in slam anyway, and if you don't have 25 points, nobody else is going to be in game anyways. Like the fact that you missed a game is when you're playing in normal intermediate players or club players or whatever, you just don't need to be in those games that don't have, because the field doesn't get there. So you just
the number of times, I'm sure this is for you too, Gavin, that I get the question, like, we missed this game, how are we supposed to get there? And I'm just like, you're not.
Yeah.
Right? This is a terrible game. Just because you scored 170 doesn't mean you missed something.
Yeah, this is a frequent joke I make if I'm playing at the table and we make 10 tricks at hearts, but we had like 20 high card points. And something say, "Oh, missed another one, partner. Come on, got to bid these things." But it's just silly. Like you can honestly, look at those scorecards too. There's going to be 140s at the club. You're still gonna get a good score.
You do. You like I make my living by going plus 170 on boards that everybody else goes plus 140 on. That's I'm not making a living by bidding games that nobody else is in. Because when you bid game that nobody else is in, and you run into finesses losing or bad breaks, you're getting zeros. And it's different at this team game though. Like with obviously at teams you just need to get to the game because there's a big incentive because it's the difference in score. 620 to 170 is a huge difference. It's not. But when you're playing pairs, which is what most of our viewers play most of the time, these games are just not this aggressive style that we're watching these players play. It's just not needed to succeed at match points.
Yeah, any good player will say, "I would like every table to be in the same contract as me, and I can just outplay them." Right? There's sometimes when you can just outbid them too, but
sometimes. By the way, there's an excellent point in chat. everyone should keep in mind that the players don't know what's happening at the other table. They'll compare after 16 boards or 15. What is 16?
15, I think. Yeah.
So they compare every
Just
15
to
boards.
be clear, they don't actually even compare these. We do compare, but like when you're done playing on these Lovebridge tablets, you at the right as soon as you finish playing, you push a button and you can see your entire score. I don't know if they fixed it yet. It was like in an annoyingly upside down order the last couple years, and I was like, please change it so the board 1 is on top. And anyway, I hope they have changed it. You basically as soon as you walk out of the room, you know your score.
Yeah, It does take something away from it, doesn't it? And
yeah,
it's
a little
fun
bit of a
to
shame.
see the team huddled around, right? Plus 50, win 10. Minus 110, lose 3, right? Like, that's a fun experience.
I agree. I think that VUGRAPH in itself has really affected that. It's made that it's not the same. There's like people come out of the room and you already know whether you've won or lost, and it's not the same feeling. Like those old days where you'd gather and the teams would be really up close and there'd be a huddle of people around them and they're calling out their scores and they're adding it up and they add it up and then suddenly you hear the cheer by the team that wins. Like that's a missing component from the game.
Crowd around both huddles and
Zia wrote a story about that in his book, Bridge My Way, called The Shriek, where he wrote about that whoop of exhilaration when you win a match after a really long thing. And then he wrote a story about psychic shrieking, where you scored up to a loss, but the other team is slow at scoring, and so you go crazy and like start yelling from across the room and they think they've lost. He's like playing the ultra long game. He's like, I'll probably play these guys next year and I want them off kilter.
So someone asked a question about Zia's 3-0 Trump bid, and I seem to be in the minority here, but I think you should bid Stamen with 4-3-3 because your partner doesn't have to be 4-3-3. All you need is a rough in either hand.
No, I mean, definitely, I'm a non-Stamen bidder with 4-3-3-3, and I'll tell you that it's not just you're revealing information about the hand to the defenders. So that's the huge downside of Stamen. So you're like anytime that the lead was going to help you, like they need to lead, they need to avoid a heart lead when partner has 4 hearts opposite Stamen. You that extra trick is you don't need to make as many tricks, right? You only need 9 in no trip, and you need 10 in the suit contract. But in the process, you're revealing the too much information to the opponents. It is definitely, like in my experience, it is definitely not right to be bidding Stamen with 4-3-3-3. Not even puppet Stamen with 4-3-3-3. Never. Just there's because 9 tricks instead of 10 tricks. So yeah, you're right. There might be an extra rough that's going to get you the 10th trick, but they also spades might be 4-1 and they lead into your 4-4 fit. Like things like that happen where if you just don't bid Stamen, they're leading blind. They're always leading a major, in fact. Like that's the new thing is when it goes 2-0, 3-0, everybody's looking to lead a major. They lead from their 3-card spade suit into your spade fit, and then suddenly you're making more tricks and no trumps than you were in spades. It's definitely like I don't want to be on air next to somebody without being like, no, I will not allow it. No 4-3-3-3 Stamen. I can't do it.
No, I'm definitely in the minority, but I have found it to be a winner over time.
I remember hearing it might have been Stevie, but it's some world-class bridge player once saying that he doesn't like bidding Stamen without a club card. That he'll often just bid 1-0, 3-0 if his clubs are bad because he's so sick and tired of Stamen getting doubled and him getting owned. And so I think maybe against the auction 1-0, 3-0 we should be leading clubs. Be a little deep.
That's deep.
Just against Stevie.
So we got another part score deal on our hands here. The dealer's north, it's going past a diamond. These guys play precision again, so a diamond doesn't say they have diamonds. It's kind of their catch-all bid because one club is used for their strong hands. So this one diamond might have 2 diamonds and 5 clubs, or 5 diamonds and 2 clubs. And so south, that's a pretty aggressive takeout double opposite a passed hand.
Oh, that makes me so unhappy.
I mean, I don't like 4-3-3 takeout doubles to begin with, but if you're going to do it,
opposite a passed hand, it's so dangerous.
Strength. Yeah, I mean, he is white against red. That's the only thing he has going for him.
That's not. There's another. There's actually another thing going for it.
Four spades.
If he knows Greco and Hampson, I'm pretty sure that a lot of these strong club players over a diamond double, they don't play like playing like the go for blood redouble. They play
true.
transfers. They play redouble shows 4 hearts and a heart shows
heart.
4 spades. So you're not as it's not as dangerous coming in with a takeout double over a precision 1 diamond bidder as it is to like over a standard 1 diamond bid. So I will say that go there. It's not as crazy as it looks, but when you're opposite a past hand partner and you only have 11, the upside is not there, although it's working. Look at that, and we see an underlead of an ace, which you do not see very often. He recognized that there was a takeout double on his left, so dummy was going to be the one hitting with points. And wow, did that work out perfectly? Was that just what they needed?
That's exactly the layout you're looking for when you underlead that ace, right? King third and dummy, jack and 1 and declare's hand. Because if he has to do it himself, declare has no choice but to lead up to the king. But when you lead it, oh, he's not underleading an ace, right? Just totally normal. That worked out beautifully.
That's exactly what he needed to beat this contract, because they're going to get 2 spades, 2 hearts, a club, and a diamond. And that king of hearts isn't good for any discard. Like you could throw a diamond from the north hand on the king of hearts, but that diamond is not an important card to get rid of. So why is it 2 down? Because they get a rough.
Oh, because it promotes the spade 10 if he keeps banging diamonds.
Nice.
Interesting. I think one of the more profitable times to underlead an ace is when it's gone weak 2 on your right, pass. Because now, like, it's a lot less likely that you're leading into the king. The king is more likely to hit in dummy or in partner's hand. It's just when the declarer has a weak hand, it can be pretty effective to underlead an ace there.
For sure.
If you're looking to do it at all.
Against slams, when they deny a control, is another one where although you're underleading an ace from slab, it takes guts to do it.
And understanding teammates.
Yeah.
I've been definitely lucky to be on a team of understanding teammates. That we've always had the mentality of when our teammates do something that they think is right, we're always 100% behind them, and we're never like talking badly about our teammates because they went for something. So I've been in that environment for a long time. It's a much healthier environment to play bridge when you know your teammates are going to back you up. For
being a good teammate and a good partner is such an underrated skill in bridge, and it's something that you can work on, right? A lot of people lose their cool and things like that, and you really can work on that and become better at it.
And next look at them.
Yeah,
it's so important.
There are people who are great players who I just won't play with because they're awful. It's just not fun, and I don't play as well when I'm walking on eggshells.
No question. That's true for everybody. No question.
Yeah, you want to do well at bridge, you need your partner at their best.
Shifting attention back to board 10 over here, you can see that aggressive opening bid with East. Like you have 11 points, 5-3-3-2, but this they play precision, so it's pretty easy for them to open a spade. But I think this is a pretty normal opening bid these days for most pairs. It would have been interesting to see if like Zia or Jeff or Bobby or Steve would have opened that East hand in non-precision systems where their partner. The thing about being in a limited opening bid system is that when you open a spade, your partner's not going to take you so seriously because the most you could have is 15, and so it'll be you can get away with opening any hand. Although this is 11 count, but
not a great one either.
Yeah, Brad passed it. In the other room.
There you go. And
but
they're playing. They're right. And they were playing 2/1. Yeah, exactly.
They're vulnerable.
They are sound when they're vulnerable. So there you go. So that's.
Yeah.
So where are we? It's so 3-0 went down in the other room. Do we have any shot here? You can negotiate 3 club tricks and 2 spades is 5. The ace of hearts is 6. And you could get 2 diamonds, maybe.
2 diamond tricks
Is 8. I don't see a 9th unless they can somehow get West to lead a heart into them. 3 clubs, 2 spades is 5, 2 diamonds is 7, and a heart is 8. There's just no chance at 9 tricks here. The heart suit, it's funny. The heart suit actually is a perfect heart suit with Jack 8 third, where if you knew it was Jack 8 third of hearts, you can actually, or you don't even have to know, you could generate a second heart trick in this suit after losing the 10 and the king. The 8 and the jack are going to fall, and that 6 is eventually going to be good. So I guess it's possible if we, and especially because as long as we keep East off of lead, it's possible. If we let East in 2 more times, they're going to clear spades. Like now, if it goes king of clubs, club to the 9, East is going to win the queen of clubs and bang out the spades, and then by the time you go to set up your diamond, they're just going to have good spades and you're down. So we need to keep East off of lead. So
right.
king of clubs,
but when he sees the honor here,
he's going to be scared and think maybe I need to safety play the suit if West has 4 of them. He knows West had a singleton spade, so it's likely that West has 4 clubs. So I think he's going to play a club to the 9, but that's going to be the end of the hand. It's good.
But if Jeff had Jack 10, okay. Also, Gavin, can you ask, why did North jump to 3-0 with just 2 aces opposite the 1-0 overcall?
Yeah, so that's just it's definitely the right thing to do. No question involved. When you're a vulnerable 1-0 trump overcaller, it's stronger than a typical 1-0 trump bid, where when you're open 1-0, it's 15 to 17. When you overcall a vulnerable 1-0, it's more like a really good 15 to 18. And when you go and invite, first of all, 2 aces is worth more than 8 points. Like I always have this joke that if I didn't bid game with 2 aces on my team, we talked about having understanding teammates. That's one of the things that my teammates will not understand. Like if you don't bid game, like both Cranyak and Hurd would both look at me like, what is wrong with you? Why did you like what happened? Did you not see that you had both aces? It's like what that's really how they would feel about it. That's how automatic it is in my world to bid game with 2 aces opposite 1-0. Yeah. Even opposite a 1-0 opener, to be honest with you, they would have that same commentary. So I would just do it rather than hear from them. That's all. That's where I don't know if it's right, but I know that it's going to save me some grief. So
yeah. I mean, if your 1-0 range is 14 to 16, then maybe you could talk yourself into doing something else. But Al also makes an excellent point that when it's an overcall, you know where almost all the defensive values are, which makes the hand easier to play. Like a lot of your guesses are not guesses anymore, and
right. So, like the king of hearts has to be on side here for.
Well, okay, I'm just on balance, it's more likely to be on side. The hand will play easier.
At this point, he just needs the kings to be in the opposite hands because he's going to lead a low diamond now from dummy. He's going to try to keep West on lead. So I think he's going to spin the 9 of diamonds around, thinking East has the jack. He's hoping East has the jack of diamonds and the king of hearts instead of the other way around, so that he can run the 9 of diamonds. It'll go low. He'll try the 8 and hope it goes king because he needs the king of hearts on side. So I think that's what we're going to see. I think he's going to lead the 9 of diamonds now from the dummy.
Yeah, that's true. If Greco's hand is balanced, it's 11 to 13.
Right.
And so notice how Declare has kept the 5 of clubs as an entry to the dummy by unblocking the 8.
The hearts.
Yeah.
It is true also that a lot of good 13s with a 5-card major will just open a no trump anyway. Their range is 14 to 16 playing precision.
And now he basically knows he's toast.
Yeah.
Right? Like unless
he knows
he's right. Because now the king of diamonds absolutely has to be in East's hand now. So
he's just 2 down no matter what he does.
Right.
Because he didn't get his diamond trick soon enough, or I guess it didn't matter.
I mean, he might even play the ace here because the East is the king of diamonds.
Isn't that his only shot at this point as a singleton king of diamonds?
Yeah, because it's marked with East from the bid.
Right.
I just we're in the interest of appealing to all members of the viewing audience. It is important to remember the bidding during the play.
Yes.
All of that information is gold when you're declaring or defending.
East has shown up with ace of spades, queen jack tight of clubs, and not the king of hearts.
Yeah.
So
there it is. There was his chance. Sad attempt at making the contract from here. Take that trick, take his ace of hearts, and go to bed with his 7 tricks for a 3-imps to nickel on an extra down trick.
That gap is widening. They quadrupled their lead.
Okay. See what's going on the next board. So if you have not been watching our broadcast at all, and don't have any information about this tournament, these players are actually in fact playing on computers and not with cards. They are sitting 2 people to a room with computers. North and east are in a room together, and south and west are in a room together, completely separate rooms. So you can talk freely to your opponent, give explanations verbally, though you must also put your explanations into the computer, but you can give more detailed ones verbally to your opponents in the room. It's a new format. I got pictures somewhere here. That's kind of what it looks like. 2 people in the same room. Each one of them has their own laptop, and in the other room, obviously, the same thing going on. Where's my screen? That's the other room. Here we are. So,
also, there's a good question in chat here, by the way. Is there ever a situation where you would underbid to protect information about your hand? I think the answer is probably no. Like, you might hold back some information about your shape when you think it's not super relevant, like not bidding Stamen with 4-3-3, things like that. But I don't think I would ever risk missing a game bonus to. I would just regret any information that I gave once I get to game, but I don't think I would.
I'm amazed that Greco didn't make a takeout double after a diamond passes spade. He has like a near opening bid. Like if you compare his hand here to the takeout double that Zia made on the previous hand, you have you have support for both of the unbid suits, hearts and clubs. And it's if you're gonna get into the bidding, you're gonna do it over a spade now. It's not gonna get cheaper on your next turn. Although now it's. Well, they got to 3-0 Trump, which they had 9 winners. I think my grandma would make this one for sure.
That's
not giving my grandma justice. My grandpa, who didn't play bridge, could make this one.
But this is an example where, Greco didn't come in, and now the opponent's got the game, and so they don't have that information that they would have if he had doubled. Of course, on this one, it's just 9 tricks and we're done.
Yeah, although, I mean, they do have a cheap save in clubs that they can't find if you don't double. I'm not saying they would find it, but it is there.
True.
It is there.
Right. They have 10 tricks, 4 losers, 4 aces to lose.
4 aces.
I just think in the modern day, you have to compete for your part scores. And if you don't come in now with that takeout double over a spade, like I just think you're giving up when like partner has 4, and when partner could easily if they don't have a spade fit, it's our hand. Right? If partner's got some points over there, they've just opened non-vulnerable and responded non-vulnerable. And in the modern bridge, they're opening garbage and they're responding on garbage. And so you can't just let them shut you out. I'm shocked that he didn't make a takeout double, to be honest with you, because you're also, it's so hard to get people when they make that takeout double in that spot. Because it's not like you can penalize them right away. All doubles are takeout. There. That was the fastest claim. If this was one of those quickest trigger of the West things, then Mexroth wins.
Well done, Nick.
That was amazing. Very well done.
Michael Rosenberg would have played it out.
Yeah.
The opponents in both rooms see the explanations that the players are typing about their own hand. If they wanted to, they could verbally ask the person they're sharing the room with for more information. They could try, but and they could get that.
Life is too short to play that hand out. I'm sorry. Like I just can't imagine sitting and grinding out those tricks. Like you deserve. Honestly, you play those out, you deserve to misclick. That's what I find. And just like let the opponents in at the wrong time, and then you're down. Like
you remember there was that great big controversy from it was Spingold or Vanderbilt or something where a player had 12 top tricks and 6 no, and basically no legitimate chance for 13, but he played it all out methodically, hoping the opponents would misdefend, and because he hadn't claimed, they did misdefend. I think Maxworth and Rodwell misdefended because
Right.
they're like, well, you
Against-
can't
I
have
think it
that
was
hand because he would have
Rosenberg.
just claimed. So he ends up
Right.
getting sort of pseudo
Yeah,
squeezed.
yeah. I think that was Rosenberg.
It was Rosie, and there was a big controversy about it. And his attitude was like, well, matches have been won by one imp, and why should I not take every chance to get everybody? So it's
So
very polarizing thing that happened.
I hate playing for overtricks. If you're playing against me and we're playing teams, you can just have your overtricks. They're all yours. Claim them. Just enjoy them. I will pay you overtricks to move to the next hand. So a club, pass, a spade, pass, a no trump. See, the south hand is a really good hand and normally really strong hand. And normally you'd want to bid your longest suit when you have a game forcing hand over your partner's opening bid. But the problem is here our longest suit is support for partner, and so a club pass two clubs inverted minors, which is what they probably play, would deny a 4-card major. So he had no choice but to respond to spade. And now partners bid a no trump, and now they play a standard expert standard system, it looks like, of two-way new minor forcing. So two diamonds basically said we're going to at least game, and usually it's used to find the best game. In this case, Zia is using it to set clubs as trumps and look for slam. So because what does he have? He has 12 and 8 is 20 highs, and his partner's
20,
open the bidding. 20 is not an automatic slam these days, opposite a modern opening bid. Like 1920 is more of a slam invite than that. Although I can imagine he's just driving to slam. He's just getting clubs to be trumps,
Right.
so he
and
can
he does
key
have
card.
a fit too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he's going.
I mean,
He's
it might
driving
only
to
be
slam.
a 5-3 fit, but yeah. And I'm pretty sure Zia insists on one club, two clubs as game forcing. That's why he has those other major suit bids as raises. That's one thing he told me.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to that for sure. I know. I definitely.
Right. He's like, that's just one of those things that's so much better. I was like, okay, well, I like playing reverse flannery over.
So over here, this is just something that you always want to like take note of is when you are in 3-no trump and you pull away from 3-no trump to 4 of a minor, you're always looking for slam. It's never I'm scared of 3-no trump. Obviously, this auction is pretty clear cut. We set the game force, we establish clubs as trumps, and now we're pulling 3-no trump to 4 clubs.
Also, never Gerber.
It's never Gerber. It's never Gerber. Thank you.
My partner made a 4-club bid yesterday that he thought was Gerber. I was like, I don't think so, but maybe he was right. I don't know.
Well, if it's Gerber, then Mech has misresponded.
I know.
Usually, over this 4 clubs, 4-no trump by the 3-no trump bidder would be the negative bid, right? Like not interested here. So 4 diamonds is at least 4 we're going if it's not a key card ass.
It's not. That's what I would play it as is key card. So I would have bid key card with the south hand. I would have bid 4 diamonds key card. I think that what happened here was Zia really wanted to key card over 3-no, but he was worried that 3-no 4-no would be quantitative, which I imagine it would have been 3-no 4-no.
Yeah.
So he pulled to 4 clubs so that now he could bid 4-no asking for key cards. But I would have. I mean, like most. I would say. More expert partnerships. I don't want to say this in a bad negative way towards them, but I would say most expert partnerships play 1 over key card for the minors. I know Pepsi would be like slapping my hand for saying that, like, because he hates 1 over key card. I can't live without it. To me, it is one of the most useful tools in minor suit slam bidding. So where South could have just bid 4 diamonds key card and not go through this whole spiel.
Yeah, I mean, almost no one at the top level plays 4-no trump as key card.
I have an explicit rule with my partners that when we have minor suit fits, 4-no is never key card, and that helps us so much in all these auctions where you're like not sure is 4-no key card, is it a Q bid, is it a quantitative or whatever. If it's never key card, it just makes life very, very easy.
Right. Greg and I definitely have the rule with clubs as trumps. 4-no is never key card. Very occasionally.
Five hearts here showed 2 key cards in support of clubs, so he's got 2 aces. So that's what 5 hearts would. I mean, he didn't alert it because I think it's self-explanatory from their perspective. And now 5-no confirmed. 5-no confirms all the key cards and is looking for kings. Jeff is thinking, well, wait a second, do I really want to go past 6 clubs to show my partner the king of hearts right now? But then I don't know. He's probably going to say, yeah, it looks like 6. No, it's not. It doesn't look like there's a huge incentive to play in clubs. So I'm going to bid 6 hearts and show my king of hearts. And now Zia's going to probably bids six spades because he's still interested. How can partner have the hand that he needs? No, because he needs ace, ace, king, king, 14. So he doesn't need to make another try because North, when they bid one no trump, a club, a spade, and no trump, they limited their hand to 14. So after the five no trump king ask, if North had the king of spades and the king of hearts and the two aces for their 14 points, North would know that has to be the hand that partner's looking for 7 and would have bid 7 directly over 5 no trump. So South doesn't need to make another try or anything to say I'm still looking for 7 because 5 no trump would have got them there if they needed to be in 7. They didn't need to be in 7. It's a perfect 6. 5 club tricks, 3 diamonds is 8, 3 hearts is 11, and the ace of spades is 12. And we are on a finesse for the 13th trick. Now, for all of our talk about do we want to be in slams on finesses, grand slams on finesses are an absolute disaster because of the way the scoring works. 1430 and 100 is 1530 is something like 17 imps. I don't know the number, but I'm guessing 17. And and if you're making 7 compared to the other table being in 6, you only win 13. So if you're taking a 50-50 shot where every time you win, you're winning 13, and every time you lose, you're losing 17, you're going to go broke really, really quickly on that.
You have a little better than 50-50 here with the Jack of Hearts potentially coming down.
All right.
But yeah, you don't want to be in the grand
for sure.
Yeah.
Right. It is really important for everyone to keep in mind, too, that when you bid Blackwood and then ask for kings, you are confirming that your side has all the key cards and the queen of trumps.
Right.
Like you never, because 5 no trump is an attempt to find a grand.
Right.
And you never do that missing a key card.
Leeway to just bid a grand if they can now count 13 tricks.
Right. So that's why it's really important if 5 no confirms the key cards. I know Zach Grossack sometimes doesn't feel this way, but if 5 no confirms the key cards, then you can bid a grand if you have a source of tricks.
Right. Kit likes it not to, and you just bid 6 no if you want to bid a grand. But
I know, but I think if you want to, I'm sure that is playable and that's fine. But I wouldn't ever do that sitting down with a new partner. Like I'm not going to unload 5 no on them missing an ace because maybe we're going to sneak our way into 6 no.
Yeah.
So here we see a normal 1-no with a 5-card major. This is different parts of the world feel differently about these 1-no trump openers with 5-card majors. But Americans fall on one side of this plane. Like it's just it's become generally accepted. Maybe not all Americans, but it's definitely the American style to open 1-no with 15 to 17, 14.
And the reason is that when you open a heart, you just end up with a really tough rebid problem, right? If it goes a heart, a spade, there's just no good rebid with the East hand. Right, because 1-no trump would show a weaker hand, like a 11 to 13 hand for them.
Yeah.
So you see, they led the 5-card diamond suit, the 10 of diamonds, definitely better than leading a 4th club. I think that most people would lead a diamond from the south hand, and it looks like North South are just gonna be able to get their 4 club tricks, and 2 diamonds is 6, and a heart is 7. Are they going to be able to generate an 8th trick in spades? It looks like it may be. So it's going to go 10 of diamonds to the queen. North knows now to shift. They're not going to play another diamond. They know East has the jack of diamonds because the 10 denied the jack. Oh, never mind. Okay. I see it's this way. I'm sorry, I had this wrong. They are setting up diamonds. So now they're going to take their clubs and knock out the king of diamonds so that they're going to get 4 diamonds, 4 clubs, and a heart, which might be...
That's one of the reasons why leading a weaker 5-card suit is preferable to leading a good 4-card suit. It's so much easier to set up your little cards in that suit.
And then you have entries to it.
Right.
Yeah, this hand's not going to play well for Declarer.
Yeah, in fact, it looks like because Mech cashed that ace of diamonds, it looks like they're going to end up with an extra trick on this hand because West is going to take a heart finesse.
He has to take a heart finesse.
It's going to be pretty normal. Yeah. So it's going to go club, 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 9 of diamonds, and then he's going to be in dummy. He's going to be like, well, I'm going to try. I have to try the finesse, but then he's going to lose the king of diamonds, 4 clubs. Sorry, the king of hearts, 4 clubs, and 4 diamonds for 3 down for 300, and so.
By the way, to respond to chat, you wouldn't rebid a 3-card suit after a heart of spade. right? If it goes a heart of spade and you rebid another suit, you should be showing at least 9 cards in those suits. I suppose you could try to fake a 2 club bid, but even so, it's very awkward. You could get left in a
the people who open a heart with this hand might have to.
Yeah, I suppose. It
right?
seems
Because if you're in bigger trouble if you lie about your strength, right? You're just going to miss game way too often if you rebid a no trump with 15 points. So yeah, you know.
So this is I'm bringing up the analysis board for a second just to show you. This is the spot that we're really worried about, is when you open a heart with the south hand with 15 points and it goes past and your partner bids a spade, that you don't have an appropriate rebid. If you rebid one no trump on this auction, a one no trump rebid here, this would show partner 12 to 14 points, and that's an inaccurate description of our hand. So you just don't have another bid, and it's kind of
you
the
would
same.
have to bid 2 clubs.
You would have to bid 2 clubs, but it's just such an ugly bid. Like, yeah, but so and just the same when it goes a hard pass and no trump. You're saying that you could rebid 2 clubs with this hand, but the modern way, at least among experts, is to play one no is semi-forcing. So this auction is usually it's usually 5 hearts and 4 clubs. It could have a 3-card club suit, but you really want to avoid this being a 3-card club suit. So
yeah. Typically, if you're rebidding a 3-card suit here, you're just passing a no trump.
So what's going on here? Oh, the order of which it happened as we thought. He won the club, knocked out the diamond, finessed the heart.
Yeah. 4 tricks. It feels bad, but you know, a couple.
Fleischer's closing the gap though. Lots more bridge to play, guys.
Yeah, we've got 2 more boards in this segment, but this is going on for 2 days. I will be back tomorrow at 11:30 in this same segment. I don't know what you guys are up to, but if you're willing to join me, if you're available, but 11:30 tomorrow morning in this segment. But the broadcasts go on lovebridge.com for today and tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be there, Gav.
Okay,
I got
cool.
nothing else to do tomorrow.
Okay.
11:30. Yeah. Could probably sneak away.
Eastern time. Yeah, Eastern time, 11:30. That's the first segment of the day, like we did today.
Gazilli might solve some of these issues, is the question posed in chat.
Yeah, Gazilli definitely solves some issues, but it's taking the game to a complexity level that's above what most people are willing to do. Yeah. At a high level game, for sure, Gazilli can solve some of these issues, but for the average bridge player, Gazilli is just way too complicated. So,
what do you guys think about 3 no trump here versus using puppet Stamen with the west hand? Is like, if you have to use 3 clubs puppet Stamen, it's a lot scarier than the 2 no trump puppet that Greg and I play.
Yeah, it is a lot scarier for sure. And so I'm mixed about this, because we have this other source of tricks in diamonds that if we can win the lead, like making 3 no trump should be okay. This is interesting. Will he duck this trick? So he doesn't really have enough tricks here for 3 no. Yeah, he did duck the jack of clubs.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, puppet Stamen is asking partner if they have a 5-card major when they open a no trump, right? It goes along with, like on the previous hand, where when we choose that we have to open a no trump with these 5-3-3-2 hands, it's useful to have a way to find out if partner has opened a no trump with a 5-card major.
But look how hard defense is, right? This 3 no trump is now going to sail home, whereas they could have just won that jack of clubs, run 5 hearts. Cash
still had a spade. Yeah, they had 2 down off the top, but how would they know to shift to a heart?
I know. Defense is really, really hard.
Well, especially like, what was the signal that we saw with the north hand? I didn't quite catch it. Let me diagram it out for a second. So they had 3-2. So they were playing upside down carding. I don't know if they are playing upside down carding. Al, you probably know that. You could spit that out quickly. Because the 3 of clubs looks encouraging, even if it was meant as discouraging if they were playing upside down. So that's one of the things as declarer you look for on the jack of clubs. Like, hey, if I let them win this trick, are they going to continue? Plus, you also he played the 2, so no, it was standard. Okay, sorry.
I think they probably play standard at trick 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people do these days.
Well, it's funny because he gave up on one legitimate line of play was to he could have just played for both minors 3-3, but he let him win the jack of clubs, and that made it that made it so he didn't need clubs to break. He only needed diamonds to break to make the contract. So that was a very smart play. It seems like it probably happened in both rooms, right? Because they made 3-0 in the other room as well, and that seems like the only way you could possibly make 3-0. But that's high level bridge. All right, last board of the set here.
Same thing at the other table.
What a cool hand.
Yeah, that was a great hand.
Well, a man after my own heart. 2 spades. White against red. You want to be pretty aggressive, and a 5-card suit shouldn't be enough to stop you. When you have solid intermediates like this and some shape.
So you see here, North just jumped straight to 3-0 trump with what does he have? 14 and 9. It's 23. So there's a couple ways that he might go about this. He could double and bid 3-0 trump, or he can just jump to 3-0 trump. Yeah, I guess
double.
What? Sorry.
Yeah, double feels like you want to bring partner in if they have hearts.
So the other problem with double is partners, when you're this strong, is always going to bid 2-0 trump Lebensol.
Right.
And now the partners, you're getting the lead coming through your hand instead of the lead coming into your hand, which doesn't look as attractive.
On this hand, with all the controls, maybe you actually want partner playing.
Yeah, and because West doesn't know what suit to lead if they're not leading spades, so maybe there is that as well.
Yeah,
because that's what would have happened on this hand. It would have gone.
thought.
It would have gone 2 spades double pass, and South would have bid 2-0 trump, saying I have a bad hand, and now North would bid 3-0 trump, and
right.
Yeah.
But Mexroth doesn't play for letting partner declare even when it's
Yeah,
that's not going to be part of his strategy.
It's funny. Adam Kaplan made this joke. Lots of imps flying around the set. Yeah, it's a very low scoring set, but there have been a lot of interesting things that happen in the middle of these pushes.
Yeah.
You had both tables bid to slams that went down. That last 3-0 was interesting, I think.
Yeah.
And we all like seeing sets where it's like 73-40, but still lots of cool bridge going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like Ace King of Diamonds here to start, and when the Queen
let's see how we doing, folks. The Ace King of Diamonds. What's happening? Okay, Queen of Diamonds. Thank you very much. Let's go. Next
You're gonna
hand.
get a witch trick.
All right.
Oh, come on, Hampson.
Oh, boo.
How does a member of the nickel team not make that happen? But so that was reverse Smith signal is what that was. That was him telling his partner, "I don't like your opening lead suit. I don't." And
which seems like it might be obvious with 10-4 in the dummy,
one more piece of note for people for the intermediates in the room on the King of Hearts lead when it went low, and often in 3-0 trump or in no trump contracts we're taught to use the hold up play of ducking and waiting to win a trick to kind of sever communication between our opponents. But in this particular spot, Mextroth won the Ace of Hearts, and there's a very important reason why, and that's because of that 10-8 fourth of hearts and dummy acting as a second stopper. If he had ducked the Ace of Hearts at trick 1, then the defense could just simply play the 3 of hearts back at trick 2, letting him win the ace, and the 10 would have no value. But because North grabbed that Ace of Hearts, that now the 10 of hearts and dummy acts as a second stopper. So you got to be careful before you use that hold up play to make sure that you don't have spot cards like that in the dummy that are gonna act like you don't blow a second stopper by doing your hold up play. Very, very important little point on the way out here of this set.
Yes.
So now that the point from here is Mextroth can safely lead a spade up towards the king-queen now, and he's not worried about the heart suit just blowing up on him because he's got the 10 of hearts as a stopper and dummy. So there's no problem at all. In fact, I think he might end up getting an extra trick out of this whole hand. Maybe like he's going to get he's up to 6, and he's got the 2 clubs as 8, and at least the king of spades as 9, but I think he might settle with an extra trick on this hand. It's going to be interesting. So East is going to throw. I think they can defend to hold him to 9 tricks here. If West throws a spade and East throws the 9 of hearts, I believe that there's nothing Declarer can do. Oh no, because then Declarer could actually clear spades because the hearts are gone. He can play spade to the king and just play a spade, and safely. In fact, again, he can make that's 10 tricks. So he wins the king of spades. That he's got 9 after the king of spades wins, but he can safely play a spade out of his hand. Right now, it can't hurt him. Can it hurt him? Maybe it could. They could win the jack of spades. No, he did it. There you go. Well done.
Hampson could have ace 10-7 left, right? He doesn't know that it was a 5-card suit.
Right, but even if that's happening, he still has the 9 tricks. He started costs.
Yeah.
That was very good, just to save that imp to keep the margin of the match is 6-5 at the end of the first segment. It's great bridge. This is going to be great bridge for 2 straight days. We're very lucky. I feel very grateful that I can watch this in an environment where I'm not really pissed off that I lost yesterday. Like that's normally when I'm picking up these sets like later in these tournaments. I'm like pretty upset about losing, and it's hard to watch an event that you're out of. This one's a little bit easier to watch. But so if you did like our commentary, I'm a regular teacher, so is Adam. We both have our own websites where we teach. WolperBridge.com. I do lots of lessons on expert standard systems, and most of my lessons skew intermediate advanced, like higher level intermediate advanced. So you can find, and I run a free duplicate game every Tuesday for intermediates. You play 8 boards on BBO. You join me in a Zoom afterwards for an hour, and we go over the 8 boards. Intermediate advanced players, free. Check it out, WolperBridge.com. WolperBridge.com in the chat. I can put that in the Twitch chat.
AdamParrishBridge.com as well.
Yeah.
I teach some classes on LearnBridgeOnline.com. So, and we're both, all 3 of us are part of Bridge Winners. So we encourage you to check out Bridge Winners as well.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the day of bridge, and we'll catch you back tomorrow morning.